A very warm good morning to all my dear kids. I hope you all are doing well. Today, I, Aparna Jain, your science teacher, is going to explain you the chapter number 5, Seeds and Seeds. I have already covered few topics of the chapter in previous video, so today we are going to continue with them. Let's recall the aims of the lesson first. To know about germination of seeds. To know about different agents of dispersal of seeds, to know about pitcher plant, and to know about Velcro. Let's recall what we have done in previous class and then we will proceed further. The first topic that we covered was sprouting. We discussed that sprouting means to begin to grow. It is called the first step of germination. They are very rich source of nutrients, so we should eat sprouts. Next topic that we discussed was seeds. We learned that there are different kinds of seeds. They have different size, shape, color, texture, which make them unique from one another. We discussed that some seeds we eat as food grains, some as spices, some are found in vegetables, some are found in fruits, etc. Then we discussed the process of germination of seeds, for which we saw a video. Let's recall the steps to be followed while germination of seeds. The seeds germinate to produce a seedling. The seedling absorbs water and nutrients from the soil. Firstly, a tiny root starts growing downwards. Then, upper part of plant, that is tiny shoot, starts growing upwards. Soon baby plant grow with green plant and changes into adult plant. Now we are going to discuss our first topic of today's class, that was pitcher plant. Have you ever seen pitcher plant? No? You can see a picture in front of you. This is how pitcher plant looks. Basically, pitcher plant is a insectivorous plant. Insectivorous plant means that it eats insects. It may eat frog and mice too. It is found in Australia, Indonesia, and Meghalaya in India. It has special smell that attracts the insect, and as soon as insect land on its mouth, it get trapped. So this was about pitcher plants. Next important topic that we are going to cover is Velcro. I will be explaining you meaning of Velcro. Before that, see this video.
Who invented Velcro brand fasteners? In 1941, Swiss engineer George de Mestral goes hiking in the woods with his dog. It's all very pleasant until George notices the prickly seeds that are sticking to his clothes and his dog. At home, George puts a burdock burr under a microscope. He finds it's covered in tiny hooks that attach to clothes and fur. He says. 8 years of research later, George has invented the hook and loop fastener, which he then branded Velcro. Tiny hooks on one strip of nylon attached to loops on the other. It's a zipperless zipper, he says. But not everyone is impressed. Hook and loop gets its big break when it's used by NASA astronauts in the 1960s. Even more impressive, in the 1980s, David Letterman jumps onto a wall wearing a hook and loop suit. Today, it's used in everything from luggage to medicine. So when you hear that rip, think of George and his dog.
So, I hope few things are clear to you. Let's see the meaning of Velcro first. A fastener consisting of two strips, one with loops and other with hooks, is used to stick together is called Velcro. Basically, as you can see in the picture, that Velcro have two parts. One has loops. That means it is used to stick to each other with help of that loop. Velcro is basically used in many purposes. It is used in shoes. It is used in watches, wristwatches. It is used in belts, and it is also used in bag. You know what? Who firstly discovered Velcro? It was discovered by George Mistral, but his experiment was not so effective that he did not get the recognition. Later, when another scientist used this process, so his efforts was recognized. Okay. Another important topic of the chapter is agents of dispersal of seeds. Before proceeding further, I would like to tell you what is dispersal of seed. Dispersal means act of moving here and there. When you move from one place to another, you call it as dispersal. So, agents means the factors that are responsible for dispersal of seed, that are responsible for making the seed move from one place to another. So, dispersal of seed means movement of seed from one place to another. There are certain agents, or you can call factors, that are responsible for their movement. First agent is by wind. Some seeds are very light, so they are blown away by air. For example, dandelion and cotton. Another agent is by water. Seeds of plants that grow near water bodies are easily carried by water. For example, coconut and lily. You can also say that another factor that is responsible for dispersal of seed is by animals. Some seeds have hooks or spine which stick to the body of animal. Even they eat fruits and vegetables and throw the seed here and there. For example, apple or mango. Another factor is by bursting. Bursting means to explode. Some seeds become dry and explode. For example, pea and castor. So as you can see in a picture that a bird is carrying a fruit in its beak. When it eats the fruit, it throws the seed here and there. Through this process, seed disperse from one place to another. The second picture is of castor seeds. This is how castor seeds look. The last agent of dispersal that we are going to discuss is by travelers. When human beings eat juicy and fleshy fruits like watermelon, apple, mango, etc., they throw seeds here and there. For example, again you can take apple, mango, watermelon, muskmelon, etc. So, There are various seeds that came from different countries long ago. For example, from South America, we took tomato, potato, green chili, etc. And now they are grown in our country in such a way that we cannot say that it came from South America long ago. In the same way, from Europe we got cabbage, pea, from Africa, coffee beans, green bhindi, and from India there were so many like mango, orange, methi, etc. So, this was your chapter number 5, Seeds and Seeds. I hope this topic is clear to you.